Eli here, allspiritualplaces.com, and in this video we're going to talk about pessimism versus blind optimism versus ultimate trust and faith, and how that actually affects you in your life and your day-to-day right now. So the difference between blind optimism and ultimate trust is this blind optimism, you just taint everything with this view that it's all going to work out, that, oh, this terrible thing happened, but everything's going to be fine and it's going to get better and better. It could be worse. And it's this cheap facade that many people put on in order to uplift those around them, but it's really see-through, and people pick up on that and they notice that it's not a surefire thing, that you're just saying it just to be uplifting and just to try to cheer them up. So it doesn't really go that far, versus that ultimate trust and that faith is when you say something that, oh, it's gonna be all right, like, just trust me, it's fine, like, it'll get better, don't worry, it's just a little hiccup and it'll all be good. And when you say something like that and you come from this place of faith, of ultimate knowing and trusting that it is actually gonna be okay, people can pick up on that. People can see your energy, they can see your mannerisms when you say it. They know that you're not just saying that just to try and make them feel better, that you genuinely believe that and you genuinely trust and know that it is actually going to work out to your highest and best benefit and to their highest and best benefit. It's this trust and faith that you're being taken care of no matter what. And that is so huge, because they say faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains, and it's something that saints have said for ages. But what does that actually mean? Because a mustard seed is this tiny little thing that you can squeeze between your fingers, and yet people lack this faith in a higher power, in source creation, in whatever faith or anything that you want. They don't have this faith to move these mountains. But if you read a biography of a yogi, Yogananda's biography, one of the underlying themes in this book is that he's ultimately being taken care of and guided through it, and always treated as he should be and taken care of. There's one chapter where two boys go to Brindaban, and him and his friend are on the train, and they barely had money for the ticket. So they're all out of money. They don't know how they're going to eat. They don't know anything. Their goal is to go see all the sights, because in order for Yogananda to get to his master and to receive his teachings, this is what he needs to do. And so two penniless boys in Brindaban, and to spoil it for you, they meet someone on the train, and the guest of honor for this person didn't show up, and they like the boys, so they basically take the boys to this feast, and they have all these delicacies, and these two, Yogananda and his friend, just get to feast and have the best meal that they've ever had in their entire lives. And they get taken around the whole city and shown all the sights and all the temples and everything, and then they get put back on the train to go back to his home, to wherever that was, I can't remember. And it's having this faith the size of a mustard seed that can allow things like that to happen, this ultimate trust and knowing that everything is working out perfectly for you to your highest and best benefit. So how can you actually cultivate faith the size of a mustard seed? What does that actually even mean? Where do you even go with that? And that's something that I like to touch on in a minute. Right now I want to talk about pessimism and how that's serving you or not serving you more so. So many people are so pessimistic because they've been conditioned that way, because you get yelled at when you're a kid for something that you've done or not done that didn't work out. Then you get reprimanded for one thing or another. You get blasted by media, by advertisements, for everything, that things in your life aren't supposed to work out, that you're the rule, not the exception, that these other people that you're seeing in movies and media, everywhere else in advertisements, they're the exception to the rule. Good things happen to them, but not you, because you're just a commoner. And that is completely false. The thing about pessimism is it's designed to keep you trapped in this state of mind. And that's really what it is. It's a state of mind. It's how you view things. It's like, oh yeah, of course that happens to me. I'm the victim here. Da 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 da. And that is so completely false, because things just happen sometimes, and how you interpret those experiences makes it what it is. So if something bad happens, now we've done this. Now this is done and gone. We don't have to touch back on it. We never have to think about it again. I tripped on the sidewalk. No one was around. Instead of getting upset, you can just laugh it off and not victimize yourself. And then so if you can laugh off something like that, you can start to shift this pessimistic thinking into saying, well, maybe, just maybe, something can happen good good, something good can happen for me, right? And then what would that be? What would that look like? How would that make me feel? And then you can start to shift into this more optimistic state of mind, and not that blind optimism that we talked about before, where you're just saying like, this is it, this is da 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 da, and no, like forget that. That's not serving anyone. And neither is that pessimistic mindset, that pessimistic attitude of, oh, I'm barely getting by, I have to work these hours to get this money. Money can only come to me through this certain thing. I can only meet the love of my life in this certain way. All of that is just a made up thing that you decide is true for you, but it doesn't have to be true. Again, we want to make this shift from pessimism, from blind optimism, into this ultimate trust, this unshakable trust in knowing, and to have that faith the size of a mustard seed. That's one of the things I'm working on too. I'm not here telling you that I've done this and so can you. I'm on my journey. I'm on my way to do it, and I'm improving every day. So what I'm asking you, what I'm challenging you to do, is to step up and to start to catch yourself and to go on this journey with me, just to make these subtle shifts, just to see that maybe something good is actually happening for you, not to you. And that's really what all spiritual places is all about, is shifting into this faith to clear your karma, your blocks, your obstacles, challenges, whatever you want to call it, to shift you from this toxic thinking, from these toxic traits and habits and energies that so often than not you're surrounded with and don't even realize. Many of them are self-inflicted. And all spiritual places and all spiritual places blessing is to get rid of all of that, to make life easier for you, to make you more in tune with who you are and what's coming to you, and for you to slip into synchronicity easier and easier each day. So if you've not done it already, go check out the website, allspiritualplaces.com, link in the description. And lastly, I encourage you to think bigger, to dream bigger than you thought about. In the US, there was just this Powerball of over $2 billion. And I'm not saying that you would want to win it. What I'm suggesting is that if you did win it, what would you do with all that? How would your life change? And don't do a little cop-out thing and say, oh, give it away in a charity. No, like this is on you. Like, let's take care of you, your needs, your wants, desires first. And then if there's still money left over, then you can decide whether you want to start a charity, whether you want to donate it to a charity like Charity Water, like Karma Gawa, Pencils of Promise. There's so many out there that are doing so good. But this is about you. Your desires, what you want, who you want to be, and how you want to stand up in the world. So I encourage you to really think about that and get clear. Because if you had all the money you could ever want, what would you do with it? If you had all the love you could ever want, what would you do? If you had everything that you've ever wanted, what would you do? So until next time,